Shalom, this is your Ark. Yah is magnified, coming back with another informative video. I titled this video, Man's Right to Protect Himself. But before I tackle this subject, as always, I must state for the record, I'm not a lawyer, I do not practice law, and I do not pretend to. All my videos are for informational and educational purposes only. They're all facts and all truth, nothing more, nothing less. So with that being said, let's get to it. Okay, I'm doing this video so that people will know the difference between a man protecting himself and a man protecting the state-created person whom they claim to be the man's person, or when they say his person, also known as the person of the defendant. Okay, but a man can only protect himself. Okay, the man does not have a person. Okay, the person belongs to the state which created it. The person is a United States citizen who was created by one of the 50 states, including Washington, D.C. Okay, so again, with that being said, a man can only protect himself. Okay, only how a man can protect a person or become a person is once he attaches himself to some type of society. Okay, be it the legal society or whatever other society that man chose to attach himself to. Okay, and once that man attaches himself to that society, that man loses the right of being a man and protecting himself. Okay, to now becoming a citizen of that society and are now protected or governed by that society rules and codes. Okay, so to prove what I state, let's come out of case law. As you all can see on the screen, we're coming from Crandall versus Barron, right? Let's stroll up. Oh, yeah, also it's from the 4th Department, July term, 1890, right? Let's stroll up. Like I said, I don't make this stuff up. It's for all to see. Everybody's got to open their eyes up, see what's going on. When you go to court, stand as a man and protect himself. Not going to court as a fictional person and try to argue for that person or on that person's behalf, which is the state's creation. Okay? Let's pick this up where it says, quote, "Gentlemen of the jury, a man has the natural right, as it is called, to protect himself, to fight for his protection." Okay, so when you go to these courts, I always tell y'all, go in there as a man. When you go in there as a man, you are protecting yourself, not their property, not their fictional person, okay? He says to fight for his protection. So when you're going to court, you're going to court to fight for your protection. You're not going to court to fight for the person of the defendant, which is a state creation. Okay? A United States citizen or a state citizen. You're not going to court for that. Okay? But let's continue. It states he has the right, the natural right, to protect his person. Clearly a distinction between himself and his person. Okay? His person was created, or this thing that they trying to make believe to be his person is created and given to him at his birth during the birth certificate and social security card process. That's the person who they want him to believe is his. He did not create that. That person was created, again, on behalf of the United States, which makes him a United States citizen and or a state citizen, like I said in my last video, which is a part of the 50 states, also including the District of Columbia, which is Washington, D.C., okay? And notice, after it says right to protect his person, it further says to protect his property and to protect his reputation. Protects whose property? The person's property. The man do not own any of this property. Why? Because the property belongs to the United States. That's why the man pays taxes and interest on the property. Okay? And yes, because the property was simply given to him, to use, he can only hold interest in the property. But let's continue though. It says writers upon social science says that when a man enters civilized society, he surrenders the right to protecting himself. You see that? So Once a man enters any type of civilized society, be it though the legal society or whatever society he claimed to enter himself into, he automatically loses the right to defend himself. So stop going into these courts trying to defend the fiction. You are a man first. Defend yourself. That's it. That's all. Don't go in there acting like the citizen or the fiction. But let's continue to further prove. So he can no longer defend himself. He surrenders the right to protecting himself, his person, which the same documentation that I just went over, that they're trying to force you all to believe that that's you, his property, the property which belongs to the fiction that's in the name of the fiction, and his reputation in consideration of the agreement of society or the government to protect him. So therefore, the citizen has lawful rights. You notice how they changed the word from a man has lawful rights to now the citizen has lawful rights. So you gave up your free will as a man to become governed by a fictional society and became a citizen of that fictitious society. Is that it? Is that simple? But let's continue. Therefore, the citizen has a lawful right, right? Then it says, and a right founded upon a consideration to call upon the government and the laws of his country if he is assaulted in his person, not if he's assaulted in himself. Assaulted in himself, no, in his person, which means that he assaulted in the fiction. In his property, notice it says in his property, the same property that belongs to the fiction or that person, or his reputation to call for protection. Okay, then it states it would be a worthless government which did not protect its citizens. So you gave up your lawful right as a man to protect himself to become a citizen, for the government can protect that fictional created person known as the 14th Amendment slave or the 14th Amendment citizen. It's that simple for all to see. It's just that simple, man. We don't have to make this thing hard. Okay? To further prove it, let's go to the definition of person and let's see what type of person is covered underneath the 14th Amendment. Let's go to the Black Law Dictionary. Okay, so as you all can see, we're coming out of the Black Law Dictionary, right? So let's go to the word person. Person, in general usage, a human being, i.e. natural person. Though by statute term may include labor organization, partnerships, associations, corporations, legal representative, trustees in bankruptcy, or receivers, right? Case law to back it up, but let's continue. Then it states, scope and delineations of terms is necessary for determining those to whom 14th Amendment Constitution afford protection, since this amendment expressly applies to persons, right? Aliens are persons within the meaning of the 14th Amendment and are thus protected by equal protection clauses against discriminatory state actions, right? But do you not see that it states natural persons or man is considered underneath the 14th Amendment? No. But let's hold on. Let's prove something else. Let's go to corporations. Since corporations are persons, right? Right here. Corporations. It says corporations. A corporation is a person within meaning of the 14th Amendment equal protection and due process provisions of the United States Constitution. So again, they are not talking about living, breathing men and women. No, their sole responsibility is for the fictitious corpse that they creating during your birth certificate. Okay, you are a walking corporation. Once you see that, life will be so beautiful. You are a walking corporation. Until you accept that fact, get rid of that corporate fiction. When you go to these courts, stand in court as a man, separate yourself from that corporate fiction, you'll win. But then and only then will you win. Other than that, they will hold you as the corporation, the 14th Amendment citizen, underneath the equal protections and due process of the United States, and they will hold you accountable for the debt, turning you into the debtor to pay back these fictions to govern your life, as we just read in the case law. Okay? But not only that, let's go and get more understanding, because a question was asked Does the 14th Amendment cover man, or is man is within the 14th Amendment? Let's find out. Let's see if they ever answer this question. Let's go there. Okay, so as you all can see, we're coming from defining a person under the 14th Amendment. So now let's stroll up, get some quick understanding. If I can let you all go and go about your day, study more, let's pick it up right here. Where it states, let me zoom in a little bit. Where it states for all, right here. Where it says for all its intricacies, this amendment must noticeably accord substantial rights to persons. These rights include citizenship. So remember, once you give up your rights as a man to protect himself and you attach yourself to some society, then you become a citizen of that society, such as the legal society. Whatever society you want to attach yourself to, you become a citizenship of that society, or citizen of that society, which gives you citizenship status. Right? So it says these rights include citizenship statuses, due process, and equal protection. To avoid arbitrary enforcement of these rights, it is necessary to agree upon a definition of the word person. Looking first into the principal authority of the 14th Amendment, Congressman John A. Bingham of Ohio said the only question to be asked of the creature claiming 14th Amendment protection is this: is he a man? Yet, surprisingly, this question yet went unanswered in the landmark case Roe v. Wade, but served to exclude an entire segment of the population from the protection of the 14th Amendment. So again, the whole point was asked, is the person in protected underneath the 14th Amendment, is that person a man? They avoided that question and avoided that question the whole time. The question went unanswered. Why? Because they know once you give up your rights as a man and claim to a society, you becomes a citizen. And once you become a citizen, you receive citizenship status, which turns that man into this thing called his person, which was given to him by that society or that state that he, or that country that he signed himself up to. That's it, that's all. Or that he pledges himself to. So what they do is, again, they had your mom and your pops. Well, majority of the time they just had your mom sign you up, as an informant that a new vessel was being born. So they created the certificate to dock that at the doctors to what I want to say, to register that new vessel, because a man is also a vessel. Matter of fact, let's go there and prove that before I leave. Let's go there. Okay, so now as you all can see, we're coming from the Black Laws Dictionary again for the word man, right? Man is a human being, a person of the male sex, a male of the human species above the age of puberty, right? But notice not once does it say anything about a man having rights or being acknowledged as a person underneath the 14th Amendment like it says for corporations. You see? It's clear, but let's continue. In its most extended sense, the term includes not only the adult male sex of the human species, but women and children. See mankind. Then it says in feudal law, a vessel. So again, man is what? A vessel, a tenant or feudatory. The Anglo-Saxon relations of lord and man was originally purely personal and founded upon mutual contract. So again, man, I cannot stress this enough. Learn the scriptures, learn everything. Okay? The man is simply a vessel because when the Most High created Adam from the dirt of the ground, Adam did not become a living soul until he breathed in that body the spirit of the Most High, which made that man become a living soul. But before that, Adam was just clay made from the dirt of the ground, or made from the dust of the earth. Okay? So again, with that being said, you do not have a person. You do not own a person. Okay? They want you to believe that you are that person, that creation of the state. And once you go into court and you believe that, and you make their presumptions true, because they only assume and presume that you are that name or that you are that person. Once you go in there and rebut their presumptions, because if you don't rebut a presumption, then that presumption stands as true. So once you go to these courts, rebut their presumptions, you'll win every time. Plain and simple, simple and plain. Start rebutting the presumptions. Okay? So that's all I'm going to do for today. For all my brothers out there fighting, continue to fight. Don't stop. Don't quit. Don't give up. If you all need my help, hit me up in my email at yahismagnified@gmail.com. All the new people watching my videos, like and subscribe. And with that being said, you all have a blessed day. Shalom.